Pillbug9 here, with another episode of PillbugCraft. So, last time we built this iron farm right here, which I guess it should be completely operational. Once we break some of the glass up there so that those villagers can see that zombie, iron golems will start spawning in shortly after we do that. Which, it's my hope it's my hope that by the end of this episode, we will be breaking those glass blocks to activate the farm. But before we do that, the farm might be operational, but currently that would be the item pickup system right there. A dropper that'll just drop the iron and poppies out onto one of the blocks down here, which isn't what we want, obviously. So today, what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be trying to funnel this down into our storage room, I guess. I've got something to kind of show, actually. Let's just go in this entrance here. But, yes. I've worked a little bit on our item collection room. It's not done yet by any stretch of the imagination. But in here right now, I've dug out a little bit. And I'm pretty sure this wall here is like as far as we can go because our villager thing's like on the other side of this wall. But anyway, this would be our item collection room. This is the output from our creeper farm right here, obviously. And this one here is what I constructed off camera. This is for our iron. Right here. So, this is a storage silo, of course. It's our goal to get the water stream to enter via here. So it'll enter here. And I was going to have it at some point branch off. See if I could come up with some kind of sorting system thing to sort the bone meal out and put it in this chest. But I think we're actually going to not do that, actually. So this section here is going to be probably just going to look like that side over there. Bit flat and boring, I know, but the reasoning behind that is because I want to see if instead of having a collection for a certain amount of bone meal, because you got to keep in mind, this isn't going to make that much bone meal. Oh yes, I also realized we had nowhere for netherwort to grow, so I changed out the useless sweet berries that used to be here for netherwort, so that we can have a temporary supply of that. We'll come back to the netherwort at some point in the future. But yes, this thing right here, this is where I want to see if we can have the bone meal come. Because this thing's not going to be creating much of it, as poppies have a very low rate of actually adding to a compost bin. So what that essentially means for us here is we should probably just route the bone meal into the bone meal input for this farm. That way, of course, we can add bone meal manually still by accessing those chests. But I think above there we're going to have hoppers. And I worked out a little system to evenly split the items so that if the chest on this side that fuels these dispensers right here. So if this chest that fuels these, the one on the left side here, gets a piece of bone meal, I've got a system that will lock the hopper above that one, and then the next piece of bone meal would have to end up in this chest, and then when that happens, the one above it gets locked. So that'll alternate it and keep it evenly dispersed. There's not going to be a huge amount of bone meal coming through the thing, but I'd rather not have a dedicated chest in our storage room just for bone meal. When if we need a huge amount of bone meal, we can just go to the skeleton farm to get a bunch. So, for this one, it'll just be something that periodically we'll just put a piece of bone meal in one of these chests and fuel up some of these for automatic flower farm here. Which will hopefully mean that whenever we come through here, I think it'll produce enough bone meal so that whenever we come through here and if we need to activate it, we can just flick the lever, turn it on, and get a few of these flowers. Because we're never really going to need, I don't think we're going to need like a huge amount of any of these flowers, like, at all. But for those colors, but if we do need a little bit, there should be enough bone meal in here, just from the amount that it produces. So yes. But what that means is we're actually here to rewire this thing first, so that we can try to send the bone meal up here. We'll have like a filtering splitter mechanism as well, which I haven't quite figured out how to keep our filtering splitter thing from missing the occasional piece, but in my testing, it only ever missed anything. Yeah, in my testing, it only ever missed anything like, yeah, it only missed stuff, whoops, when I put, like, a whole stack of bone meal in. And like I've already stated, we're not going to be getting stacks of bone meal from this farm. We're going to be getting the occasional piece coming through the system every now and again. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and I guess if our farm's already filled up with that much, this thing should keep it stocked up indefinitely, I would think. So, yes. Forget exactly how that's operating there, but we're not interested in how that's operating. We need to go up here above the machine, I think. Let's see, are these the blocks? Yes, they are. So, and I hope I have enough for this sort of thing. Let's get a redstone box down. No hoppers. Of course I don't have any hoppers. You know what, let's go get the double chest from downstairs. I'll take that. And I'll take that. Anything else that I can take? Nope. Unless I wanted to take some of these blocks. I think I will. Okay, so we've gotten the double chest. Now we still need to make some hoppers. We need 2 more, I think. We need 3 hoppers in total to make this thing work. And I'm pretty sure we have, yep. We need 2 pistons, 1 block of redstone, some comparators, some repeaters, and some redstone dust, I think, to make this thing work. And we're probably also going to need some of this. We might also need some slabs. So I'll see if I can make this stuff. And then we'll rewire this thing up real quick. And actually, I think I'll wire it up off camera, and then I'll show how it works. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll wire it up off camera, and then I'll show how it works when I come back. So, 1 second. Okay, so this system is completely done. So those would be the 2 input chests, obviously. And then this chest is what's doing the actual splitting of the items. So this will be a water stream coming in from the iron farm, which when the pipe that carries both bone meal and the iron enters the mountain, there'll be a extra little thing there to catch the bone meal and separate it, and then it'll get sent down this pipe, whereas the iron will keep flowing down the main pipe and end up in the iron farm. The bone meal will get separated and spit into a separate pipe, which carries it into this hopper, which will then put it in this chest. Even though we can't open the chest, I think the game can access it because of the hopper there. And then one of these hoppers will always be locked, because it splits it into here to put it in our input chest system. And the one that isn't locked will get the item and put it in there, or put it in one of these two chests, the one that's not locked. When that happens, this will detect it, which will cause this line here to activate this piston, which will then push this block so that this hopper is now locked and this one is unlocked until this receives an item. Then when this one receives the item, pretty much the same thing happens, only it activates this piston instead of that piston, which pushes the block back, and so on and so forth. Every time this gets a piece of bone meal, the next chest that picks up that piece of bone meal will be the alternating one. So it alternates back and forth like that. I also made it a little bit easier to navigate around down here by adding a ladder there. But anyway, we should be able to just seal this up now and not worry about that. I've already taken coordinates of where the beginning of that pipe is so that I know where to dig that second pipe to from wherever it is as we enter the mountain using the other pipe. So anyway, I guess let's go ahead and build the main delivery pipe and also the composting system as well, which I'm not 100% sure if I want to do that after it enters the mountain or before. I guess if I do it after it enters the mountain, you'll be able to see the poppies going through that tube as well. Yeah, I think I like the idea of seeing everything go through the one centralized tube. So we'll go ahead and compost it after it flows through the tube, I think. But anyway, what we're doing back here is we're getting the coordinates of this. So I guess I'd like to be able to actually stand in it so that we can get the proper coordinate. Also going to clear some of the junk out of our inventory as well. So let's actually go ahead and stand in where this pipe's going to be at the right level and everything. Get a screenshot of that. And I guess I'll be back in a bit when we're, ready to start building that pipe. Probably after I've gone to our incinerator to get rid of some of this stuff. Okay, I figured building up the pipe wasn't necessary to show on camera, as this is literally all I've done, and for the pipe itself. So now the items will drop straight down this tube, and then there'll be water going along here. So, like that. And then, yes, this is why I didn't quite finish it. We need to put ice here. We're going to go ahead and do that because I think it looks better than a sign. And it'll achieve the same effect. And then we'll put water there. And we continue that process with the placement of a block of ice and a slab above it. And we should be good here. So, yes. And then we'll cover over the top with more glass like that. Not like that. But yeah, and then for the connection point, I did like a little design here. There I got like these coming out for the corners, and then the pipe looks like it transitions into stone. So, yes. It'll be kind of an illusion because we're not going to waste fancy materials, actually. Not any more fancy materials than we, like, have to waste. So, the poppies and the iron will come through this pipe. Like this. So, yeah. And then they'll flow in there, and then I'll have a composting thing that'll weed out the bone meal. It'll actually weed out the poppies. There'll be slightly more of those coming through, so it'll actually weed out the poppies, and then it will eject them straight into the correct tube. Will be the idea. They'll get ejected in there and make their way where the bone meal is needed. And assuming any bone meal is generated. But yeah, this should be good. And then, of course, we're going to pretty this up. I think we might have, like, little things of this kind of coming up from the ground to make it look like they're supporting the pipe. And have it, like, wrap over the top of the pipe. At these spots to hide the ice. Yeah, that would actually look quite nice. And then this block here would actually be a block of the smooth stone. But yeah, I'll come up with a design later. Guess right now we're kind of running low on the glass, so I'll conserve every piece that we can. And then, of course, I need more water. So yeah, I guess let's go ahead and finish the outside part of the pipe. And then I'll go ahead and make my way to where we actually need to be here. So, yeah, so we'll finish this up, and then I'll make my way to the first part, which we're going to do the bone meal pickup system first. Or the bone meal sorting system first, or whatever it's called. And then I think this is the last piece of water that we need to put. That's not going to be... Yeah, if you land on top of the pipe, you'll be able to see in there, so I think I'll extend the bricks a little bit further in. But anyway, let's cover this over, shall we? And I'll be back when we're, like, ready here. Let's see, can I, like, get in the tube here? Okay, now that there's water in there, getting in here is gonna be hard. There we go. Whoops. That's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to, like, place these blocks around like so. And then from that distance, you're not going to be able to see the other thing. But from here, let's just continue to use slabs because they're cheap enough. So, yeah, actually, this block needs to be ice. And then slab there. Yeah, actually, let's dig our way out here so that we can come back in a bit. But yes, I will go ahead and route the pipe to where we need to put this other system of ours. Just to load up the thing in the mountain. And I'll be back. I'll actually be back after I've installed the system, just like I was with that first system we installed. Okay, and we're back. So, presumably if I've done this right... And I have not done it right. That's I don't need bone meal for that. Bone meal would be for testing the other part of the system. My bad. What we need is poppies. Okay, now I should be good to go here. So, we've got the poppies in there and the filler item. So, now, theoretically, if something comes through here, so I guess we'll simulate that. Let's just hop up here real quick. So theoretically, let's say that... Okay, so one poppy comes through here. You throw it in, and nothing happens. Okay, I guess we might need more items in there. Let's see. Okay. So, yes, it looks like there needs to be 18 items in there. So now if we throw in a couple, I'll end up going through the system and adding into the composter there. Yep. So yeah, as you can see, that seems like it works. So periodically that will miss an item, but I would think that... Yeah, periodically it will miss an item, but I do believe that it shouldn't really miss any because they're not going to be coming through too quickly. In my testing, this thing could handle scooping up a stack of 3 or 4 at the most. Which is good, because that's as many as there will ever be coming through this pipe, in theory, at once. So it shouldn't miss any, provided that too many don't stack up on the way over. So, looking pretty good there. Now then, let's just see. If we compost enough so that there's bone meal in there, I think it needs to go up one more. And it ended up in our inventory because we were standing too close. It's firing out this way. That's not what we want. Now then, hopefully this works now. Did it work? It didn't end up in the composter. I didn't see. Yep, it's going the right way. That's there. So... did it flip over? No, it didn't. I found the problem. I can't believe I didn't catch this, but that piston was perpetually extended because an item was in the locked hopper. That should not have been able to happen because the hopper was locked. So I went ahead and I increased the delay on that piston, as well as on the other piston too. So yeah. Actually, no, I didn't increase it on... Okay, well, now I'll have it increased on the other one. Just 1 second. Now it's been increased on this one. And now it's been increased on this one. Actually, I could just have done that. Okay, I think I've had too much redstone here. But fortunately, we're almost ready to activate the farm. Let's just go ahead and do this final test. So that goes back in. That's all sealed up. Good. Couldn't remember if I had it all sealed up then. That would have been bad if I didn't. So that sends that out. Goes in here. And yep, sure enough, that piston flips. Good. I think we're done with that. Which is really good. So, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and dig my way back into here. Oh. Why is... Oh, that would be because... Right, we need to fill that with poppies or else it breaks. Okay. Gotta fill that back in. Gotta make sure there's no paper in the other system. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and fill in that filter with the poppies that we need. And then I'll be back, I think. Or rather, I'll be back once I've routed the pipeline all the way downstairs. Okay, that's all done. And I'm not sure if you can hear it in the background or not, but there's people mowing the lawn right now. So in case you can hear that, there's nothing I can do about that. But anyway, there's only one thing left to do here. It's all wired up and all watered, I think. So there's only one thing left to do. We're gonna go ahead and go all the way to the opening of our thing here. And we're gonna throw this iron ingot in and see if it makes it there in one piece. So we're actually gonna go all the way up to the top here and test the whole thing once. So we're gonna put an ingot of iron in there. And there it goes. We'll make sure that it gets there alright. Now, we should see, when we go back down there, we should see the light up. Or be lit up. Yep. It looks like it made it. Yep, so there's that. Now then, I wish I had one more poppy. Or 2 more poppies. We're gonna do the same test with those, so let me just grab a couple of those, and we'll see if those also make it where they're supposed to be. We want to see that there's not a lit lamp. One of them made it past. Okay, there we go. I've installed the second item filter here, which feeds into this hopper. The same sort of thing as before. So, if I can get out this door, I think we're all good now, so let's go ahead and redo those tests just to make sure, though. And actually, what'll be happening is the iron golem as well, of course, be dying. So there's gonna be probably scenarios where there's both iron and poppies in there. So let's see if we can simulate that. So there's the most amount of poppies it would drop. So let's do 1 iron and 4 poppies. There they go. Now then, what we should hopefully see is that we don't get any poppies down in the storage, but the iron ingot made it. So let's hope that that's what we find, shall we? So let's see. hopefully the only item in this chest is going to be the iron ingot. So the lamp's lit, of course, and yes, the only item that made it all the way through was the iron ingot. Perfect. We're just going to leave that in there because we're going to end up with a bunch more, actually, coming through the system. So actually just make this our official iron storage chest here. So that's perfect right there. I'll hang on to these poppies just in case we need them. But I don't think we're going to, because after that test, I think our farm will work. So, only one thing left to do now. Well, actually 2 things. Maybe 3 things. Actually, let's leave this scaffolding up here until we go ahead and actually, like, build over the sides of this thing. So, yes. We'll leave this scaffolding tower up. This scaffolding tower can go. We're gonna lose a little bit of this on top of the pipe there, it looks like. Let's go up there and grab it, actually. I don't want to lose a little bit of scaffolding, although then again, we do co-own the scaffolding No, the scaffolding shop. We do co-own the scaffolding shop, so losing some pieces here and there is not that big of a deal, as we can just go over there and make more. But, yeah. Anyway, there's some stuff we have to do here. Let's go up here. Now we just need to bust out this glass without hitting the zombie. And we hit the zombie, or rather he hit us. The zombie hit us. It would have been really frustrating if he had died right then. There we go, now they all got the chance to see him. And we got our first golem already. Well, that was quick. So I take it that means we've built it correctly then, and far enough away from the nearest terrain that an iron golem could have spawned on. Well, I guess now we're gonna have iron pouring into our base then. Perfect. Perfect. Now then, the only thing left to do is the only thing left to do on this project is figure out how to disguise that building. As I could try to build some kind of delivery airship thing that looks like it's attached its tube up to here and is filling the thing up. Or I could make it look like it's mining the iron out of the ground. By building another structure coming down from the airship. Yeah, I might go ahead and see if we can build some kind of thing that maybe looks like a suspended laser drill or something. You know what? Yeah, that would be really cool to have. I think I like that idea. So we'll see if we can do that, and then of course we're gonna disguise this part a little bit better by building something that goes over that. But anyway, I think that's about all the time we have for this episode. Let's go ahead and, well, I guess since we need to sleep anyway, let's head on down to our new storage room, which I'm going to have to continue working on too. See if I can design that, and we'll see if we can get around to doing that soon. So I'll do one final check here, but I guess if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. If you really loved it, consider subscribing. If you enjoyed watching the iron farm get built, and want to be notified when I upload anything similar, press the notification bell. And, well, looks like this is working quite fine. I think that's about it for me. So, my name is PillbugCraft, And so long till next time.